Hi there traders, this is Chris from Elite Currency with a video on Bitcoin and one more crypto, this time Ripple. Alright, so Bitcoin is more or less going sideways at this moment. Of course, we are looking at some downside pressure here after price failed to basically bounce at this support zone and confirm a wave 5. So this is more looking like an A, B, C correction, and hence we are seeing some downside pressure looking like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potential at this moment for one more lower low before perhaps a uptrend finally starts. We're looking at a descending wedge pattern with a lower high, but flat bottoms. So it's looking like that could break to the downside. This might not be a wave 4 if on the 4-hour chart, let's zoom in and put a fib from this top to this bottom for that potential wave 3, this being a wave 4. You can see that price has been choppy, corrective, and going sideways ever since completing that potential wave 3. 1 is here and 2 is here. So it's typically is reacting in a usual way for a wave 4. Anything such as the 23.6, the 38, or the 50 fibs are typical. If it does break above the 50 fib, then that could seriously alter the kind of the outlook that we have here for Bitcoin, and then we're looking at a potential bullish move and break. Anything below the 50 fib, one more lower low as part of a wave 5 is more likely. So far, we can see that price is basically going sideways. Now, considering this momentum on the hourly chart, right, and then the sideways move, sideways box, I think a small push higher to test the 38.2 fib and the weekly R1 and the long-term moving average, which is the 144 EMA close, is likely. So we'll see something like this. Up, sideways up, hit the 38 or 50 fib. There's also a slight supply and demand zone here near the 50 fib. And then we expect a bearish bounce and then a bearish break below this support zone. When I'm talking about the support zone, I'm talking about this specific support trend line. So up, bounce, perhaps a bounce again at the support trend line, but then ultimately a break. That seems like the path of least resistance at this moment, with key confirmation levels upon the break of the trend line and invalidation level, or at least making it less likely when price breaks above the 50 fib. The invalidation level is here when price breaks through this bottom, the 78, the R3, and the trend line. That would fully invalidate the downside scenario that we have in mind now, but a break above the 50 certainly already makes it less likely. Let's zoom out and take a look at the overall pictures, because we're looking at this up and down and then sideways. So as you can see here, the descending wedge pattern a little bit better, because here we have numerous lower highs and a couple of flat bottoms already. This typically will break to the downside for one more lower low, maybe testing round levels like 5,500 and 5,000. But if it does break above this resistance trend line, then yes, there could be also a bigger uptrend to be expected. So that's kind of the pattern, the main pattern, I think, at this point. With regard to Ripple, let's take a look. Ripple versus the US dollar has been in a downtrend as well, even stronger than Bitcoin, but it seems like a final wave 5 is possible at this point. If we zoom out, are back into a sturdy support zone, right, where there's a strong supply and demand zone, and price is in that zone. So that could be used for finding new legs for an uptrend. But before that can be confirmed, I think we need to see a strong upside here, a flag roughly at the long-term moving average, and then a break of the flag for a clear 5-wave pattern. So far, I think that we have maybe a wave 1, 2, 3 potential, or ABC. But if it does break above this trend line like this, and breaks this triangle to the upside, that could already indicate a early 5-wave pattern on the 4-hour chart. And that could signal that this upside here is more likely. All right. Now, it will be running into some resistance from the previous broken support. So what could happen is that there is a 5-wave pattern like this on the 4-hour chart. Let's zoom in. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hits the resistance, creates an ABC for wave 2, wave 1, and then finds it's another bounce for a potential wave 3. Now, that said, an uptrend is still far from confirmed. It's a little bit early to talk about that, perhaps, considering the momentum and lower lows and lower highs. But there is some kind of momentum here at this moment that is retesting the 21 EMA. Now, that could be interesting. If, however, price re-breaks below the 21 EMA on the 4-hour chart and on the daily chart and on the outer chart even, but specifically the 4-hour chart, and breaks below this top, right here. There we go. Then, of course, it's starting to look more like an ABC. And let's zoom out again. In that case, this is probably a wave 1, 2, 3. This could be a wave 4. And down it goes for one more wave 5. In that case, we'll put the fib back on from here to here. And you can see that price roughly stopped at just a little bit above the 50 fib. So it could still be a wave 4. All right, there we go. So if it re-breaks below this, then it's probably going to go down for a wave 5. And it could be aiming at maybe 0.2 or 0.185. All right, more free analysis on the daily, multiple times per day, in fact, at elitecurrency.com. Wish you all great trading. Talk to you soon. Cheers.